4.6 degrees, that's cool. So that's going to be, yes, that's 2 degrees over the top. Did you feel the difference? It's good. That's one of the big things for me. Is if you, as long as you, when you hit a shot, if you can feel the difference in that path there. So you say, oh, that's what over the top feels like. And that's one of the advantages that I have as a coach, in the sense that if I'm demonstrating a shot and if I say to you I'm going to swing from the inside, then I have to swing from the inside. So I have to know what inside feels like. In the same respect, if I'm coming over the top, I need to know what over the top feels like. And so if you can get to that stage of your swing where you actually, you know straight away, oh yeah, definitely felt over the top there. And then, because then looking at a screen like this and actually seeing the numbers to match it, to back it up, that gives you a lot of confidence. It's like, okay, yep, got that. But let's say, having said that, let's see if we can get back on the inside. Let's see if we can get that into outswing path. So shove it off to the right, so it's just outside the hit. Yeah, so it's just over here. So shove that ball out to the right. That's good. That's really good path there. So although club face is open, you swung from the inside. And we can see on that downswing where that shaft of the golf club is. As you can see, so there, that's really good. So that's down that right forearm. That's a really good position to get into there. Now you're swinging from the inside. So the only downside was face to path, club face was 5 degrees open. So what we're now going to do is we're going to take you out onto the golf course. So let's see if we can find the golf course. Oh my good God, the Ailsa course at Turnberry, 7,400 yards long. That at Dare Manor, 7,500 yards. That's crazy. Right, so done. Let's find a hole for you to practice on.
What do you do next door?
It's in the healthcare, so it's kind of like stair lifts or mattresses and all this, everything that's to do with healthcare. So yeah. He also, he's a member up at London Club as well, so he plays up there. And yeah, so it's annoyingly, I hardly played golf recently, and I haven't really got any dates in the diary for golf. But last Wednesday I played Rochester and Cobham, and I had my Kent match play, which I lost. But it was a good game, enjoyed it. But Sod's Law, that was the one day he said, do you fancy playing golf at London Club? I don't play golf any other day. Come on, man. This had better be worth the wait. Let's have a couple of practice swings if you want to while we're waiting for it. So it's just that sensation. It just feels like you just shove that club out to the right, swing out to the right. That was nice. That was good. It's almost loaded.
How are you boys?
Yeah, they're good. They're good. So Finn's, there we go. Finn's doing well. Obviously, he's just about to go into year 11, which is nuts. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, hole 8, par 4. Okie dokie. Excellent. So now we're in the real world. Okay. So what we're going to get you to feel here. So obviously, so we've got, look at the overhead. We do like a little flyover. So you've got the traps down the right-hand side. I think that's about 280. I think that's on there. Left, right, and down it. Now what you'll find, I think it's the Isle of Arran in the distance. So what you'll find is there's 3 types of shots you can hit. So you can either hit a draw, you can hit a fade, or you can just hit it as hard as you can do. I guess that's 280, that point there. So every time you're standing on a tee, essentially what you can do, there's a technique called ATQ, which is ask the question. So you stand on the tee and you say, okay, what's the best shot? What's the shot that fits this hole the best there? So for example, with me, if I was standing there looking at this one, so saying, okay, right, it's 280 to that trap on the right-hand side. So if I'm trying to blast it as hard as I can do, I might just reach it because I'm not the longest player in the world. So therefore, I don't really want to hit a shot that can definitely or could potentially get me into trouble. In the same respect, it's a long hole, it's 460 yards. So although it's to my eye, that would set up for a nice little fade. So start down the left-hand side and fade it back. I also know that if I hit a fade, I'm going to lose a bit of yardage. So then I could say, okay, well, does it set up for a draw? Yeah, potentially you could hit a draw. So you can see this is actually a good hole where you could actually hit any one of those 3 shots. Just as long as you're aware of what happens when I'm hitting it. So if I'm hitting a fade, yeah, I might be able to control it better and hit a fairway, but I might also only hit it 250, which will leave me with 210 yards into the green. If I smash it as hard as I can do, I might get it 280. So leave me 180 into the green, but I'm now going to flirt with the bunker. And if I hit the draw should kind of be in between the two, sort of closer to that 280, and at least it's getting shaped away from the bunker. But also, how comfortable do I feel hitting a draw? And the answer is not very. So I generally don't tend to hit that draw shot. But what we can now start to do is we can start to say, okay, right, we've actually got a real target out there. So we can now start to try to see if we can match our club face with swing path and see if we can hit some fairways. So as you're hitting this shot here, we're going to stick with the draw at the moment. But I want you to try to shove the ball as far right as you can do. See if you can hit a draw. See if you can bend it back towards that target. So through impact, get that club face closing. So that's good. Good setup. So shove it out to the right. Swing as far right as you can. So actually, I don't know if it's in play, but it wasn't the shot you intended to hit there. If we look at club path, yeah, we'll have that path. We're going to get rid of the spin axis because I don't know what that's there. Club path, we're going to get rid of the curve as well. We are going to have club head speed. Yeah, let's see, club speed's there. Launch angle, throw the launch angle there. That's cool. As you can see, so there, your path was 0.5 of a degree over the top. Yeah, we've hit it a little bit at the heel, hence the reason why it started a bit further off to the left there. It's only 0.5 of a degree out, but doesn't really help because you were trying to swing out to the right there. So let's go again. So you set yourself up, swing out to the right, close that club face. Oh, see, that was close. I know it's a little bit high in the face there, but that was close to what we wanted there. So club path was 4 degrees on the inside. Excellent. And as you hit the shot, we managed to get that little bit of draw spin. That's the shape. That's what we wanted the shape was. That's cool. Excellent. Let's go again. It's just outside there. That's right. It's just outside that hitting area. So how did you feel about that shot there?
Felt over the top slightly.
But if you imagine, if you hit that shot on the golf course, yes, it's a little bit down on where you want it to be. Although you said you hit it around about 220, it was 220. If you look at the strike location, it was a little bit at the heel of the golf club. So it's one of those shots where your path was actually decent. You swung 2 degrees on the inside, but the nature of hitting it at the heel, it tends to start a bit left and hit that what we call that necky fade shot. Oh, helicopter's coming in. Must be Trump. But so as you hitting that shot, yeah, you got that ball coming out the heel of the golf club and drifting off to the right there. But it's still, if you hit it on the course, we wouldn't be upset.
The end result.
Yeah, exactly, it's in play there. It's not exactly what you wanted to hit, but it's still in play. It's still decent. It's good. That's fine. Let's go again. So can you swing that out to the right there? Can you work the ball back in towards the middle of that fairway? Because what you're not doing, that's nice, that's good. What you're not doing is you're not standing on the tee and you're not calling the tee shot. Because that's kind of like the definition of either cockiness or insanity. If you're standing there and saying to your playing partners, right, I'm going to aim this down the right-hand side and I'm going to hit a draw back into the middle of the fairway. Because, yeah, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure, aren't you? But if you hit that shot, again, you know it's not quite perfect, but it's in play, chances are they'll say good shot to you. So if I'm setting up and I'm trying to hit a draw and it actually came out as a little fade, but it's hit the middle of the fairway and it's gone a decent distance, chances are people will say nice shot. So I know it wasn't what I wanted to do, but they don't know that because I didn't call it. So if I can just demonstrate for you. And just because we're practicing that draw at the moment doesn't mean to say from now on every shot you hit with a driver we want you to draw the golf ball, because there'll be times when a fade is a much better shot and times when just standing there and hitting it is a better shot. What I always say to people is if ever I'm trying to hit a draw or a fade, I'm trying to be positive. What I mean by that is I'm trying to actually consciously do something with my hands. I'm either trying to release the club face and close it, or I'm trying to hold the club face open and open it. But if I'm trying to hit a neutral shot, to all intents and purposes, I'm trying to do nothing with my hands, and it's very difficult to focus on nothing. You have to have something to sort of focus the mind on. So that's why whenever I'm trying to all intents and purposes, hit the ball straight, I'm just trying to hit it as hard as I can do. So I trust that my hands are going to deliver the club face back somewhere near square. So I'm also kind of trying to make peace with the golf ball before I hit the shot. So say, right, this might be the last time I see you, but I'm going to hit you as hard as I can do. So I just hope that the club face is going to, my hands know what square feels like. Okay. But if I'm trying to hit a draw, I'm actually consciously thinking about the club face. You can see, so here, there's two ways you can hit draw. You can either aim down the middle and swing out to the right and close the club face and hit draw, which is what we're trying to get you to feel as though you're doing at the moment, to give you that sensation of attacking it from the inside. Or you can just aim off to the right and just do your normal swing, which is what I tend to do, because I'm not trying to manipulate the path. But I'm quite happy with my path at the moment. I'm not trying to change my swing path. I'm aiming off to the right here. So then as I hit the shot, all I'm focusing on is just trying to close that club face and hit the draw. I almost fell over. But you can see, so I don't like that shot, because as you can see, so when I hit it, because I hit a bit too much shape, the virtually it's got no spin on it and it just goes, it nosedives. Hence the reason why it's only gone sort of 228 yards in total. Because if you look at the backspin, yeah, spin rate is only 1100 RPM, so that's not enough spin to keep the ball up in the air. So that's why I don't like hitting draws, because I struggle to get the ball airborne. That's a better one. To be fair, that was much better. But yeah, so all I focused on there was just trying to turn it over. They're trying to get that draw shape. So there, so you see, so yeah, I've hit it 260 odd yards. Ball speed is 143 miles an hour. Club speed is 97. So I wasn't worried about how fast I swung the club. All I was focused on there was just make sure you close that club face, because I'm aiming right. If I don't close the club face, I'm losing it. Yeah, so I have to hit that draw shape. And if I was doing the opposite, if I'm hitting a fade, this is a shot I feel much more comfortable with. So I'm definitely aiming off to the left now. Do my normal swing and just hold that face open. I lose the ball left. It's coming back. I think I aimed it a bit too far left. But you can see, and so it's a shame you can't see the trace there, but I definitely left that face open there. So you can see, so club speed was pretty much the same as last time. Ball speed is pretty much the same, but because I hit a fade, I lost 20 yards. So pretend that I hit the fairway on that one, because I still like the shape of shot that I hit. Or the third shot is where we just say, right, just hit it as hard as I can do. So this one here, I'm not thinking about hands, I'm not thinking about club face. I'm aiming it down the middle, and I'm just trying to hit it as hard as I can do. And whatever happens, happens. So I pulled it a little bit, but it definitely felt faster when I hit the shot. So my swing, so my club head speed is up to 100 miles an hour, and the ball speed's up to 148 miles an hour, which is, I'm always aiming for about 150 if I can get to 150. And you can see, so carry distance was 250 yards, and because I missed the fairway, it stopped a bit quicker. But if I'd hit the fairway, that was definitely going further than the other shots there. So you can see that all three shots are definitely good shots to hit at the right time. Now, at the moment, the shot you don't really want to be hitting is the fade, because that's when it can go a little bit close to a slicey one, which is why we're trying to get you to practice that draw shot. Let's just try again. Let's go over that draw again. Oh, I've got the ball teed up higher, haven't I? In an ideal world, we'd have that ball teed up that bit higher.
The draw is higher.
Yeah, because the nature of the swing, if you're coming over the top, you tend to hit down on the golf ball. If I'm trying to swing out to the right, naturally you bottom out earlier in the swing, so you're kind of naturally catching a bit more of an upswing. So let's just try it. Try it with that higher tee peak. So, in the nicest possible way, Chris, shove it. Again, that's a really good example. So your playing partners are going to be like, "4, you got away with that one, didn't you?" And it's like, "Yeah, I did," because it's in play. Whereas if you stood on the tee and tried to hit a dead straight shot, that might be the one where you just carve it off to the right. So focus on path, focus on club face, match your club face with your path. So shove it out to the right, try and hit that draw. So that's a great example. Everybody's going to say, lovely shot, but it wasn't the shot you wanted to hit. You were expecting to see a little draw, and we saw a little fade. But we're going to walk 200 odd yards down the fairway and find your golf ball. So give yourself a little bit, so it's just outside the hitting area again. Just give yourself a little bit more room at address there. Oh, that's a good swing. That was a good swing. That path was lovely there. So although it's your biggest miss, for me, that was the best path so far. What was the path? Yeah, swing path was 2.1 degrees in to out, which was nice. Give yourself that room. Oh, I was close with the club face just a little bit. Well, actually, was that over the top or was it just Healy strike? Let's have a look. Yeah, just a fraction over the top. And again, we're talking 0.1 of a degree. And if you look at this hole, that's a tiny target, isn't it? That fairway. That's good. And if I was being lazy, coach, what I could sit there, because that's a lovely straight shot, wasn't it? Yeah, that's hardly had any sort of curvature on it. So your path was 1.4 degrees in to out. Actually, one thing it doesn't say there. What was the curve? Spin axis, one flight. Yeah, so you've had 3.1 yards of curve. Yeah, so virtually dead straight shot, isn't it? So let's get rid of smash factor. Actually, no, let's keep smash factor. Let's get rid of carry distance. Let's put that curve on it. I don't know what I've done. I've aimed you. What have I done? Oh my god. Right. Anyway, there we go. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, so if I was being lazy, coach, I could say every shot you hit, just try and swing out to the right and try and hit a draw, and it will come out dead straight. And say, okay, yeah, that might work for a little while, but eventually you get to a stage where you're trying to swing it out to the right and hit a draw, and you'll end up genuinely doing that, and you'll be keep trying to do that, and you'll end up then going hooking it. So they say, okay, at that point now, just try and go back to hit a fade, almost try and come over the top and hit a fade there. So yeah, although that last shot was a brilliant shot, it wasn't quite the shot you wanted to hit because you wanted to see it start a bit further right and have a bit more shape. But it was still a lovely shot. It was still a nice golf shot. You're like, damn this hitting area. Yeah, that path was excellent again. But you felt that, didn't you, as you hit it? Just a fraction late with that club face. Yeah, but it just takes time. Just takes time because the path is excellent. That's a really good path. Just do one more tee shot here because we've chosen like the hardest hole in the world. That was a Healy one. Actually, hit another one. Hit another one. Half was still good though. 2 degrees on in to out. Without question, your strike, the consistency of strike has been a bit Healy. So you can see, so again, that one there, that impact, see where it's definitely towards that heel of the golf club. So we just need to make that slight adjustment. And so we can make that at address. Just feels like you stand the tiniest bit further away. It's the same thing we said with the 9-iron. Just get yourself set up and just take a step back, step away from it, and swing out to the right. Because the path is excellent. Club path is still 3.9 degrees in to out. Just pull that right foot back a bit. That's it. That's good. Yeah. So that sounded closer to the middle. Just didn't get the club face there. Definitely sounded closer to the centre of the face though. I may be wrong, but it sounded good. Yeah, definitely. Definitely closer to the centre. Path is still good. Right, okay, so let's leave Turnberry. Because that's very difficult. Rocket Hall. I don't know any of these. Emirates. Any club you see? Any course you see? Pardon? Yeah, God, it might as well, won't we? 18. Oh, yeah, good. I'd say that's an ideal. That's a perfect hole because that will be because that kind of sets up for the draw we'd expect, wouldn't we? Okay. So to that tree, the old cypress tree is just under 280 to that tree. So I think a good line would be to say, okay, right, let's see if we can aim. Start right of the tree. Can you hit that draw there? And so don't forget, 2 ways you can hit a draw. You can either aim straight down the middle and consciously swing out to the right, or you can aim right and start it right. I personally, for you at the moment, I like the idea of you saying, okay, every shot I'm going to aim down the middle, then I'm either going to swing out to the right of target or I'm going to swing left to target. So you feel as though you're trying to aim down the centre each time, but you're manipulating your path. Yeah, so you definitely started it out to the right. Actually got a little bit of draw. It's trying to come back a bit, isn't it? Do you hit that shot on the course? We'll take it. It's not perfect, but we'll take it. Yeah, so again, it's done that thing. It automatically goes back to stuff that I don't really want. Let's just have the, what was it? Path. Definitely, yes, that's good. That's cool. And again. Really strange story. When we played, unfortunately, obviously we played Pebble Beach twice. And the second time we played it, so just to the right is obviously the 17th green. And we were putting out on the 17th green and we saw this girl walk along the front here. So she walks around the pebble, the beach. And like, where's she going? So we go to the edge to see her and she was nowhere to be seen. And you kind of, we stand there and you're looking and there's nowhere that you could obviously disappear to. You know, have we seen a ghost? Have we just seen a ghost? It was very peculiar. So, path was good. Definitely took 12 degrees in to out. So we could argue, okay, where exactly were you aiming there? Did you actually consciously swing it that far right, or were you aiming a bit off to the right as well?
That was just trying to get it far out.
Okay. So that was good. So that worked. But then if you look at curve, 23 yards off to the right there. So club face was open in relation to path as well, hence the reason why it drifted further off to the right. So let's really see if we can get that club face closing through impact. So hold it there, hold it there, hold it there. So whereabouts in your stance do you feel as though that ball is positioned? Yeah, definitely. So I have that. That's it. That's cool. That's it. Wasn't far off. Half 6 minutes. Yeah, so again, just left that face a fraction open. But the good thing is obviously 3 shots you've hit, all 3 balls in play. And not slices. You haven't sliced those. So we've hit it off to the right. It had 10 yards of fade. But that's not a massive slice. But it also isn't the draw we're aiming for. So try to get that club face turning over. Which is a tough shot to do here because you've got the Pacific on the left. So it's very difficult to commit to hitting a draw when the shot you don't want to hit is a big hooky one. So if I can just hit one, if I may. That was good. That was all right. That wasn't too bad. So it's still a little bit open, but it's okay. So again, it's because it's in play. So this shot here, I'm going to aim. So I'm aiming down the centre. If you notice, the centre line is just taking us a fraction to the left of that, of the tree. So kind of this for us is pretty much straight there, isn't it? That's aiming it straight. So I'm going to aim it straight down the centre. I'm going to try to swing it out to the right. I'm going to try to hit that draw shape. Can't believe I actually did it. I'm shocked. I'll take that. So what was that? So you can see, so my club path, 5.4 degrees off to the right, 13 yards of draw. So definitely close that club face as I hit it. And yes, if I hit it 270 off the tee on the last hole, I'd be quite happy with that one. But as you can see from a speed perspective, it's not the fastest. So I haven't got up to 3 figures club head speed. I wasn't thinking about how hard can I hit it. All I'm thinking about is right. Just a smooth swing, swing it out to the right, close the club face, hit the draw. So let's go again. Let's do one more where you're trying to swing it out to the right, hitting the draw. But hopefully one of the keys, actually I'll let you hit the shot. Oh, nearly. It's again a tiny fade, but it is literally just a tiny fade. Hopefully one of the big things here though is we've got you to almost embrace the right-hand side of the golf course. Because whereas, generally speaking, if you're worried about hitting a bit of a slicey one, you want to swing it left. You want to go further and further left. But the problem is the more you go left, the more you have to open the face up, and it creates an even bigger fault. Whereas we say, actually, no, let's swing out to the right. Let's close that club face, try and hit the draw. So club path is good, 5.3 degrees off to the right. Downside is club face was slightly open. Again, it's only 12 yards of fade. So if we're standing behind the ball, watching it fly 220 yards, 12 yards is only going to be a small... That's not going to be like, oh my God, it's just a little drift. So this shot now, what I want you to do, this is your neutral shot. Are you okay for time? So this is your neutral shot. So I just want you to set up to the ball, aim down the middle of the fairway, do a little sign of the cross, and just hit it as hard as you can. Okay. So you get yourself set up and just smack it for all you're worth. I didn't quite hit that. Just came a little bit out the heel of the golf club. Just get there. Oh, that's very flirty. So you can see from a speed perspective, that should be a faster club head speed. Yeah, so almost 100 mile an hour club head speed. But see, the ball speed doesn't. It's not a great ball speed because it didn't quite come out of the middle of the club face. But there, shot wise, my path was 0.1 of a degree. My curve was 0.4 of it. So, to all intents and purposes, that ball has flown straight, which is great. But that I wasn't trying to make it fly straight. I was just trying to hit it as hard as I could. So this one is just aim down the middle. As I said before, do a little sign of the cross beforehand, say a little prayer, and just hit this as hard as you can. Don't think about path, don't think about face, just generate some speed. That's our first one in the Pacific, in Stillwater Bay. Is it Stillwater Bay? Clearwater Bay. But see, club head speed was good. So good speed, up to 96 miles an hour. So you can see it's a 217 carry. But notice there the path, see where the natural path goes back to 5 degrees over the top there. So that shows you at the moment, yeah, if you're just trying to hit it, you'll revert back to that natural swing path there. But we're trying to get to a stage where it's actually, you know what, when I am trying to hit it hard, it still comes out neutral, pretty neutral. Just do that one again. So this one here, don't worry about path, just focus on speed, generate some speed. Hit this as hard as you can. So again, good speed, good distance as well. Where that ball's landed, that was quite a long way past the other balls. There's no point, we're not going to be proud of it because it's still in the water. But yeah, so again, 94 mile an hour club head speed, 4 degrees over the top as you hit it. But it's actually quite a neutral shape again, just a 2-yard draw. So okay, so it's coming, it's on the right tracks. So this one here, let's go back to that draw. So aim straight down the middle, swing out to the right, shove it out to the right. Try and hit that draw. Oh, see, that's so close to being really good. Fly, just fly a bit more. Oh, lucky. So club path, 5 degrees. Tiniest little fade, 1 yard fade. See where your speed drops down to 90?
Yeah.
But it's still a really good controlled shot. Anywhere other than at Pebble Beach on the 18th hole, that's still a nice result, isn't it? Let's do it again. Let's go again. So what you notice here, the shot we haven't practiced, let's try and start it left and hit a fade. Because I know that if I asked you to do that, that's easy. Yeah, you could do that no bother at all there. So again, let's get that ball starting right. So you're aiming straight down the middle. So you're not aiming right, you're aiming straight. You're swinging out to the right. So essentially you're shoving it off to the right. And you're matching your face up with your path. Didn't quite match the face with the path. So that would be a shot, you hit it, and it's like, oh, that's a cop out. I'm so annoyed with that one. But you know what? At least I'm just walking straight up the fairway. There's no fear to that one. You know where it's going to be. But yeah, so path was really good. But because you left the face open, you got that slice. And the other thing which we haven't really spoken about is when you leave the face open, generally speaking, with a driver, the spin rate goes through the roof there. So you can see you've got almost 4,000 RPM spin. So that's the reason why the ball's only carried 195 yards, because it's just stalling. If we can get the draw, your spin rate will drop down as well. Okay, and if your spin rate drops down to around about that 2,000 RPM mark, that's when you're going to see kind of optimize the flight. Because we're always with a driver, we're saying, right, there's no limit to ball speed, hit it as hard as you can, as far as you can, that's brilliant. But in an ideal world, we're looking for somewhere between a 14 to 16 degree launch angle. And we're looking for around about 2,000 RPM of spin, because that's going to maximize the distance. That's going to get the most out of your numbers. So the one thing we haven't got on there is the launch angle. But yeah, if you get that draw, you control the spin. Oh, that sounded really good. That sounded really good. Yeah, that's lovely. Love that. Nice shot. So 3.9, 0.7 of it's 0.7 of a yard draw. Spin rate is still a little bit too high. So you see 3,000, which is why it hasn't gone as far. It could have gone. So it's only 220. And I know you've definitely got more distance in your locker. But see, because you weren't worried about the speed of the club head, it's not that fast. So let's just do another one. Aim straight, hit this as hard as you can. Or actually, see if can you do a hard draw, like swing out to the right, but see if you can generate as much speed as you can do here. I'm challenging you to do 2 things at once, or 3 things at once here. Get a good path, control the club face, and swing it hard. So I think you got the path. I think you got the speed as well. Didn't get the control of the strike though, so just a little bit face open, a bit towards the heel by the sound of it. Sounded a bit necky, was it? Tiny, well, a bit low on the face, wasn't it? But yeah, 94 club head speed was good. Let's go again. Hard draw. Got the draw. Tiny bit high on the face there, but definitely taking that still. I'll try one. So 230, 94, good speed, 6 degrees. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Just a tiny bit high. So you don't see the smash factor. See where the smash factor is 1.39. Are you happy with smash factor and what that means? So basically, smash factor is the ball speed in relation to your club speed. So the holy grail of a driver is 1.5 smash factor, because essentially it means the ball comes off the club face 1.5 times faster than your swing. So the ease, if you had 100 mile an hour club head speed, if you had a 1.5, it'd be 150 mile an hour ball speed. So you can see, so with that one there, you got good speed, but because you hit it a little bit high on the face, and you can see the high on the face from the video at the top there, the smash factor was down, didn't come off the face as fast as it potentially could have come, because you just missed the middle of that club face there. So, but yeah, 94 is still good speed. So I'm going to try to hit that same as you there, that hard draw. Oh, it's blowing me bunker. So what was that? Yeah, so notice there, so with that shot, so I'm 5 miles an hour faster, but see when my ball speed was 17 miles an hour quicker, because I've almost hit that perfectly out of the middle. So yeah, so I'm happy with that one there. So although it's not my fastest speed, it's not my fastest ball speed, it was still, again, 250 carry, and which for me, say 250, if we're talking to other pros, they'd be like, oh my God, that's terrible. I was playing with one lad the other day and he hit it a long way. I was like, what sort of ball speed do you get? Oh, like mid 170s. Okay. Unfortunately, this frame isn't built for power. It's not even built for comfort. I'm not too sure what it's built for. But yeah. So again, this one, don't worry about the speed. Just aim straight, swing out to the right, hit that draw. I love the fact though today we haven't been too technical in the sense of saying, right, how do I swing out to the right, Chris? I've just asked you to swing it off to the right there. And the path, you've managed to get that path. So even that one there, not your best shot, but the path, I'm pretty sure, won't be far off. So as you hit it, your swing path was 3.1 degrees out to the right, but you just didn't quite control the club face, and you didn't quite hit it out of the middle of the golf club. But it's in play. It's on the golf course. So what you could say the next time you're playing, as like a little, because the mistake that most people tend to make when they hit the driver, they aim down the middle of the fairway, they're just trying to hit it straight. Or they've got a bit of a fade on, so they aim left and play for the fade and hope they're going to fade it. The problem is the more you aim left, the more you have to then hit a fade to hit the middle of the fairway, so that then turns into a slice and it's in trouble there. So we say next time you're playing, say, okay, right, aim down the middle still, but consciously swing out to the right of target. And can you hit that draw? Can you bring that ball back in the other way there? And I promise you, it will definitely go, at the very least, it will go straighter. Okay, so you might not get that perfect draw that you're aiming for.
I'm going to come back next time just to learn how to do it.
Once you've finished, I'll go back through the video and I'll count how many times we moved it. That's our third lost ball. Oh, is it? Is it? Yeah, it is. Did you ever hear the story about Tiger Woods and Stevie Williams that year that he won by about 15 shots, 2000? So basically, third round? So either the second or the third round, I think it was second round, there'd been a delay during the day. So it was obvious that they weren't going to finish the round. So I think they got to like the 13th hole and it was too dark to carry on. So obviously they go back to the hotel. And so Tiger took some balls out of his bag to take up to his room to do a bit of putting practice and chipping practice. And so the next day they go back out to the golf course and they hit a tee shot. And so Tiger finishes the hole. He'd scuffed it a little bit, this ball, so he just threw this ball to a kid and said, "Stevie, another golf ball." And so Stevie then puts his hand in the bag and he's like, "Fuck, there were 2 golf balls in the bag. There are only 2 balls there," because obviously Tiger had taken these balls out. So he gave him a ball and he didn't tell him, obviously, there's only 2 balls left. So then Tiger gets round to the 18th tee and his first shot he put in the water off the tee. And he's like, "Another ball." So Steve's just saying he's got one, and obviously if he runs out of balls, he's out, isn't he? Because you can't run out of a grip. So he's got a big lead. He was in contention, and so Steve's just trying to get him to hit an iron off the tee. Just play it safe, mate. Just make a 7, and we'll. So he's like, "No, I'm hitting a driver. Give me the ball." So he hits this drop. So apparently Stevie Williams was standing there just shitting himself. Because he's thinking, "I don't care where this ball, if this ball finishes in the water, I'm going in, I'm going to find it, because that's the last golf ball." I think it's a brilliant story. So he was that close to, instead of winning the US Open by 15 shots, he was almost going home. So really, this time here, exaggerate. I haven't seen enough of a draw yet. So obviously that one again was that fade. So it wasn't a terrible shot by any stretch. Club path is good, but yeah, definitely, to be fair, actually that was your worst one. So aim straight, swing out to the right, hook it. Don't just hit a draw, really feel the club face turn over. Yeah, that was good. That was much closer to it. So you can see how much of an effort you put in there to hit a big hook. In reality, you've hit that pretty much dead straight. So we can see, so that one had 6 yards of curve, 6 yards of fade. Okay. So go with that big feeling. So aim straight, don't aim off to the right. I've just realised the time, sorry, I kept you. That's really close to it, isn't it? That's really close. Yay! That's a proper Tiger line, that one. Yeah, so that's good. That's good. Right, so this one, to finish off with then, this is the hard one. This is the one where you give it some speed. That last club head speed was 90. Can we get close to 100? So what are you going to do differently here to generate more speed?
Just try and bring around down quicker, I guess.
Okay, we can do the way I do it. I just try and swing 10% longer. So I try to do a longer backswing. So I try to overswing on the backswing, because the more I can wind myself up on the backswing, the more I can unwind so I hit it. But also importantly, the more time I've got to generate speed. So if I wanted to, so it should be a pain if I jump in here. So if you said to me, right, Westy, you've got to get this over 100 mile an hour club head speed. So I think my best is like 103 miles an hour club head speed. With this one, I'm going to swing it as long as I can do and just hit it as hard as I can. So I've lost it, but that should be faster, he says, confidently. Splash. No, it wasn't. Let's go again. That felt faster. Towed that. I'm hoping it's faster. I've definitely towed it, but only just though. But at least it was a little bit faster. Not going to go down in any record books. Yeah, I got the draw. That was more down to a toey draw. That was I got a draw by crook. There we go. So longer backswing and just, can you get to that 100 mile an hour club head speed? How did that feel? Because that sounded really good.
No, it felt good. It very uncontrolled.
When you say uncontrolled, it was 95 miles an hour. Your path was only 1 degree over the top there, and you had a little bit of a draw. So it was actually almost perfect. So one more fast one, one more draw, and then we'll call it a day. Oh, that's my fault, sorry. So this is just focusing on speed. So to help with the speed, just longer backswing. Longer backswing as you've got, hit it hard. So you can see, so when you're hitting it hard, you just revert to that slightly over the top. But again, it's only slightly. Yeah, so there, 2 degrees over the top there. But say again in the 90s with that ball speed. But this one you now say, okay, right, so now I'm not too worried about the club head speed. All I'm going to focus on is from a square setup, swing it out to the right. Can I hit that draw shape? Can I bend that ball left? Didn't quite, but it was close to it. Go again. Let's go again. Yeah, club path is good. Shows you how tough this hole is though, because it's the line that it's got us aiming on. It's almost 200 yards to the fairway from there. Because your path was good there. Didn't get the draw. A bit more out to the right. Let's get that a bit more out. The one thing I'm concerned with is just where we have that slight heel strike. So if we were working on something else, we'd say, okay, let's see if we can get more centered contact. But I'm happy with the fact we just focus more on the path today. But yeah, in the future, it could be a case saying, okay, let's just see if we can get that middle strike. Because every time you hit it out the heel, generally speaking, you hit a tiny fade. That's just that necky fade. Yeah, see there, that's a really good shape. I don't mind where that finishes because I like that shot there. That was a nice shot. So yeah, path was good, little draw.
A lot better contact.
Yeah.
Further away.
You stood a tiny bit further away?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so good spin rate, good launch angle. Actually, I say good launch angle. We don't know what the launch angle was. Let's have a look. Launch angle was 14, yeah, perfect launch angle, 14 degrees. 14 degree launch angle. Yes, you see that 210. So if that's a 210 carry, we're looking at sort of 230 rollout probably. Mm-hmm. So that, importantly, it's much more controlled. Yeah. So you can see, so the way, I said beforehand, the way you can hit a draw or fade is you can either aim left and fade it, so start it left and fade it, or aim right and start it right and draw it, or you aim square, aim straight, and consciously swing out to the right and draw it, or swing off to the left. And at this stage here, I quite like the idea of you doing that, because then you're trying to manipulate the path there. Okay, but what I like though is the fact straight away we've got something that's saying, okay, right, we can get rid of that slice. That slice is gone now. It's just, can we control how much we swing from the inside and how much draw we get? Yeah, and what is the neutral swing path? Is it dead square? That's good.
Thank you very much.
Good, brother. Thank you so much for coming to see me, mate. Appreciate that. That was really good. Yeah, it'd be good to see you. So, obviously with the funny thing was, actually, let's just turn this off. Probably off anyway. Nice.